My sister was screaming in the meeting room, "Get her out of here." And I quietly kept smiling, letting her hold on to that illusion of power she never actually had. Then a man walked in, spoke 4 words, and the whole room, including her voice, fell silent within seconds. I was standing in the meeting room when my sister was yelling, "Get her out of here." Her voice was sharp, loud, as if she truly believed she controlled the entire floor. I just looked at her and kept a faint smile on my face. She thought she was powerful, that she owned this company, that people followed her command. I let her live in that illusion just a few minutes more. Behind the glass wall of the meeting room, people had stopped to watch. Some were surprised, some silent. The long table stretched between us and she stood at the far end, a file in her hands, arrogance in her eyes. I set my bag on a chair and stood straight. I didn't say a word. I let her anger echo unchecked. If you've ever felt unheard the way I did, stay with me. And if this story touches you, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. I said, "Get her out. This is our meeting. What is she even doing here?" She screamed even louder. Her voice didn't touch my skin. It only bounced off the walls. 2 members of my team stood near the door, both confused. They glanced toward me as if asking what they should do. I took a breath, slow and calm, and said, "No one will do anything. I'm fine." But the irritation on her face deepened. "No, you're not fine. Why are you even here? This is our pitch, my project, my budget, my client. Who do you think you are to walk in?" I pulled a chair out, planning to sit, but before I even could, she practically lunged toward me, red with rage. "I talked to HR. I told them you shouldn't be allowed in this room. You ruin everything. You should have been fired." I fixed my eyes on her face for a moment. She was my sister, same blood, same house, same childhood, but none of that mattered anymore in this moment. She kept screaming. I just kept watching. Her breathing had turned unsteady, her hair had come loose. Inside me, a calm certainty was growing, as if I was witnessing something whose ending I already knew. The door inside the room opened slowly. I didn't turn right away. I already knew who was walking in. No one else did. The man entered. Navy suit, calm expression, a tablet in his hand, and that unmistakable authority that doesn't need extra words. My sister froze mid-shout. She looked at him, immediately straightened, and her hands trembled. Her neck stiffened. She recognized him. He was the chief investment officer of the company. And with him came 4 words. Simple, firm, final. Let her take the lead. The entire room went silent within moments, including my sister's voice. Those words weren't a suggestion. They were a decision. The decision the board had made last night after reviewing my reporting during the restructuring. A decision she had never been informed about. I slowly sat down. "Shall we begin?" I said softly. The CIO nodded. "This is your project now. You start the discussion." The file slipped from my sister's hands and fell onto the table. Her face looked as if the ground had shifted beneath her feet. I looked at her for a moment, and for the first time I really saw how terrified she was. I began speaking. Direct, clear, no unnecessary flourish. The room's rhythm now moved with mine. She didn't look at me even once during the presentation. She shrank into her chair as if every sentence I spoke was replacing the position she once held. Who was this sister yelling at me in the meeting room? The same one who had been doing this since childhood. She always said, "You can't do anything." And I always accepted it, at least on the surface. We both came from an ordinary home in Ohio and found different paths. She succeeded fast, gained attention fast, made friends fast. And maybe she always believed I was following behind her. But over the last 8 months, when the company began restructuring, I noticed something. Every major mistake, every miscalculation, every flawed pitch, it all traced back to her. And she hid those things from me as if I might expose her. But I never said a word. I kept every spreadsheet, every misreport, every falsified number saved. I simply kept working in silence, steady, patient, invisible. 2 weeks ago the company merged 2 departments and I was working across both. That same day I learned the board wanted the real performance data, the data I had. And there was one more thing. The project she wanted me kicked out of, the original model for it was mine. He just never told anyone. The meeting continued under the CIO's supervision. The client asked questions and I answered them. I didn't pause, I didn't stumble. I will never forget the moment when the client said, This is the best clarity we've seen so far. My sister's face turned completely pale. The CIO looked at me and said, "We'll finalize the shift today." When the meeting ended, everyone walked out, but she stayed seated. I didn't stand either. I gave her time to understand what had just happened, and what was coming next. Her voice cracked. "You talked to the board?" I took a calm breath. "I didn't do anything. I just showed the truth. The rest was their decision." He stared at me as if seeing me for the first time. The sister who believed I was weak. The truth was shaking her to the bone now. "You knew the CIO was coming today?" "Yes." "And you didn't tell me?" I allowed a soft smile. "Because you never listen. You believed power belonged to you. I didn't break your illusion. The world did." I picked up my bag. "From now on you'll be reporting to me. Under the new structure your team will be smaller, your responsibilities too. If you choose to stay." She blinked as though trying to process the sentence. I walked to the door, paused and said, "Power doesn't come from shouting. It comes from showing. Today you saw both." I stepped out. The entire floor was quiet. People were looking at me, not strangely but with respect. The CIO stopped me in the hallway. "Good job. You handled that better than most directors I know." I simply nodded. There was no celebration inside me. Just peace, deep, steady, complete. I hadn't broken anything. I had only revealed what was already falling apart. Thank you for staying with me through this story. If my journey resonated with you, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these stories reach more people who need them. I truly appreciate you being here.